Hi everyone. When I decided to have my own YouTube channel, my aim was, and still, to talk about the problems and difficulties that teachers have during their teaching career. What problems they have, how they can solve them, or how they can try to solve them. Now, why did I say try, not solve exactly? Because every problem is unique. What problems the teachers have in, for example, West Europe aren't the same as in East Europe or Asia or Africa. The problems teachers have in villages or towns aren't the same as the problems that teachers have in big cities. So, as I said, every problem is unique, every teacher is unique. The place where you live plays a major role in deciding what problem you have and what you can do to solve this problem, or at least to reduce the negative effects of this problem. I try to cover as many problems as I can. It's just an attempt from me to help teachers. Of course, I'm not an expert. What I say doesn't mean that if you do that you will have a successful resolution to your problem. No, of course not, because even me, I have problems. So I'm not saying that this is the best expert opinion you will have over the internet. No. It's just a personal approach from me to try and help my fellow teachers. This channel isn't for students. This channel doesn't teach you English. I'm not here to teach you the difference between present perfect simple and past simple. I may give some educational points, but they will be in the context of a topic that's related to teachers. So if you are here to learn English, I'm sorry to tell you that you're wasting your time. Of course, if you want to watch the video, it will be great. And thank you very much, because you'll be helping me to grow the channel, but I'm not going to teach you English. I might have in the future some educational projects, something to teach you the language, but it wouldn't be me who would be talking in these videos. Now, I used to publish one video every week, but with time I started publishing less videos, because with time I learned to pay more attention to my content, and of course that takes time. This channel again is to share my personal ideas, which some people might agree with, some people might not agree with. It's something normal. It's just like Facebook, but the video version. Now, why did I choose this title? You need slaves, not teachers. Because the way I see it now, most organizations or companies, they actually want slaves, not real teachers. And before I discuss the main points, I want to tell you that never think, as teachers, never think for a moment that you're bigger than any changes, that you're bigger than any training session. And never think for a moment that the fact that you have a name, you have students, people come to you, it doesn't mean that you have the right to become careless. In terms of improvement, you will always be a baby. You will always improve. You will always work on yourself. Don't think for a moment that you have reached the level of experience and knowledge that you no longer need any help to improve any of your teaching skills. Remember, also as a teacher, you have a lot of duty. Being a teacher means having a lot of duties. And duty number one is to have a moral commitment toward your students who come to you and put their trust in you. You have to help them in return. People trust you with their hard-earned money, and you have to help them back. If you don't do that, if you don't pay attention to your job, if you don't pay attention to how you're dealing with your students, how you should help them, you're not a teacher, you are a thief. Or, let me be less rude, you are just a person who wants to have quick money by teaching some lessons here and there and then get the money to buy himself or herself the latest iPhone. You are definitely not a teacher. You could be anything, but definitely not a teacher. I wanted to start with that to show that it's not always the student's fault. And we shouldn't always and only accuse the students. No, 50% of the times it's the teacher's fault. And I'm not excluding the teachers. I'm not saying that teachers are angels and they make no mistakes. No, they do make mistakes, of course, but in general, we are talking about, or at least in this video, I'm going to talk about the problems which are not caused by the teachers. Let's speak about training sessions and workshops. How many of them during your teaching career have you attended or heard about that were dedicated to teaching the teachers or telling the teachers how to deal with their students, what's good for the students and what's not, what activities to have and how to help the students improve their learning skills. And I totally agree with these training sessions. They are not only important, but they're also essential, and we should never ignore them. But compare these training sessions and workshops to the workshops that tell the students how they should deal with their teachers, how they should behave during the lesson. The result is actually pathetic. For me, I believe teachers should also be sometimes the center of any training session or workshops. Students must learn how to deal with their teacher. When their teacher asks them to do something, they shouldn't say, "Oh, no, we won't do that. We are not at school." Exactly, you're not at school. And that's why, unless your teacher tells you to jump in the way of a speeding truck, you should do everything the teacher tells you to do. If you always protest or complain, "I like this, I don't like that, this should be done this way, this should be done that way." If you know all of that, so stay home, don't come to my lesson, stay home, save your money and teach yourself. But the fact that you came here, you have to listen to me, you have to do what I say, because I'm the experienced teacher here and I'm the one who knows what's good and what's bad for you. And if you don't want to listen to me, the door is open. You can simply leave and we stay friends. But during my lesson, I am the boss here and I know what I'm doing. The other point, most teachers, except for those who work in governmental schools, who don't work as freelancers, they have fixed contract and fixed salary at the end of each month. But most teachers work as freelancers. And just let me draw your attention to this point. This channel, as I said, is for teachers. So, of course, I'm not going to talk about the problems that IT specialists have, because I'm not an IT specialist. I talk about the problems that people have in the same field that I work in. So, yes, there are other freelancers who work in other fields and they have their own problems. Yeah, I understand that. But there are other people to talk about their problems. Most teachers are freelancers. And as I mentioned in many of my videos, they have to keep running from one place to another just to get as many lessons or as many groups as possible. Now, imagine if this teacher gets ill. Imagine for some unexpected reason this teacher cannot go to the lesson, has some emergency, some health issues, some family issues, or any other issues. And this teacher cannot go to the lesson, cannot have the lesson. It means the money is gone. The teachers here have no security, no stability, no protection. And of course, when you are not protected, when you have no insurance, you will have to leave. You will have to find something else. Now think about how many talented and experienced teachers had and will have to quit teaching after spending many years and spending every penny they had to work on themselves, to improve their skills, to become good teachers. How many of those people left or abandoned teaching? How many of them will also do the same because they have no security? How many of them, after spending decades in teaching, they reach a dead end when they finally had to say, I'm done with it. I have to leave. So I need to leave. So here, it's like I feel like it's a massacre. A lot of people have the potential to become really great teachers, have the potential to really do something different in their teaching career or to the teaching process in general. They just weren't given the chance. They just weren't, let's say, native speakers. And of course, nowadays, there is a new term which is native speakerism, which also a new theory against native speakers being the superiors in terms of teaching. I'm not going to discuss it because you can simply just Google it and you can read a lot of posts and a lot of videos about them. So I'm not going to add anything new actually. Unfortunately, the teachers here are being mistreated. And when I say mistreated, I don't mean beating them. I don't mean calling them names or disrespecting them. No. Mistreatment is not only about physical or verbal abuse. Not respecting or appreciating what I'm doing or what I've been trying to do, for me, is also mistreatment. Of course, there are a lot of companies that really respect the teachers. And I'm not going to talk about them because I'm talking about the problems. And of course, being treated well is not a problem. So of course, I'm not going to discuss that. There are always good companies who really respect you, appreciate what you are doing. No doubt. If you talk about online platforms, in online platforms, I don't know, I have some kind of bad feeling about the online platforms because I feel that the teachers there are being treated as prostitutes. You know, you have a bunch of teachers and you just try to choose the one you like. Like this person or this one is well experienced. This one makes it last long. Remembering the new information words, I mean. That one is exceptional. It makes it much more enjoyable. The learning process, I mean. Take 2 and get the 3rd for free. I'm talking about lessons. So, I don't know, it just feels weird. It feels weird. It's not about education. It feels like it's about something else. Good morning. Those people are teachers. Those people have international certificates. Those people have worked a lot on themselves. They are not to be treated like that. In conclusion, I wanted to say that teachers need more protection. Teachers need to be more respected. They have to have some kind of immunity. If they don't get that, we'll be wasting a lot of potential good teachers, of people who really love this job and who are ready and eager to grow in this job and make a difference. And if you don't do that, unfortunately, we'll end up with people who appear to be teachers, but actually they aren't. They just do that for money and money only. And again, money is important, but I believe in teaching we have a more sacred message and duty to do. So if you have any comments, if you would like to share any of your ideas, please don't hesitate and don't feel shy to do so in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.